Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Za'Khaiyah. If you're returning, hey sisters. So today we're going to be doing our makeup and we're going to be doing a little life update. And we're going to be talking about all things pregnancy, all things mom life. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. As y'all know, I am a new mom. So lots of things have changed with me. Lots of things are going on right now. So I'm going to be updating you on motherhood, postpartum, and just answering a couple questions as it pertains to motherhood. And we're going to be doing our makeup. Let's just get right on into it. So as you can see, I'm in my daughter's room. If you're wondering why, we have moved my vanity to her room because we moved her crib in our room. So just to create some extra space, this is where I am. This is where my vanity will be. So get used to seeing this. I already did my skincare and I did these eye patches. So I've had these on for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and remove them. We get ready to have dinner with one of my homegirls, which is why I'm getting ready. First question is, how has motherhood been so far? And honestly, y'all, motherhood has been amazing. I said this on my TikTok, but is it the easiest thing I've ever done? Absolutely not. But is it the hardest thing I've ever done? No. I love being a mom. I love my baby. The whole labor process, that's probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. But I felt so strong and empowered after it, and like just knowing that I grew her and then birthed her. It's like a really liberating and rewarding feeling. And I definitely want more kids in the future. People have always said when you have kids, your maternal instincts will kick in. And I think that I used to always be like, yeah, right. But no, seriously, when you have kids, you literally just learn how to take care of them. Like you learn to give them what they need. You learn what all their cries mean. You just learn them. And it is one of the most beautiful things. And I love that I'm able to provide food for her, provide comfort for her, and like, you know, she's mine. Like I had her. So motherhood is amazing and I would not change a thing. I hate that there was such a negative connotation around motherhood because motherhood is beautiful. Being able to bear children is a beautiful thing and it's something that a lot of people don't get to experience. I'm very thankful that I'm blessed and able to carry a child and bring a beautiful baby girl into this world. What has surprised you the most about becoming a mom? Honestly, how much I enjoy it. I think that have always been a very selfish person. Not in a negative way, but just like I have always only had to think about myself. I have always only had to feed myself, like provide for myself, like travel the world alone. Like I never had to really, worry about somebody the way I have to worry about hers. But before I had kids, I had a connotation of kids that like not a negative one, like not that it was an ever bad thing to have children, but just like I don't want to give up my freedom. I love being able to just go. I love being able to just only worry about myself. And obviously when you have kids, a good mother, you're not going to just worry about yourself. You know, it's not just about you anymore. It's about someone else. So I've always thought that I would never enjoy that. But the way that I enjoy it, the way that I love her, the way that I want to include her in my everyday life, the way I don't feel like I can't do anything anymore. I feel like I can do all the things that I would have done before. Obviously, just more planned, more time. She comes first kind of thing. But just that in itself, like putting someone before me, I didn't think that I would enjoy that. But I absolutely love being a mother. And I feel like that's what surprised me the most about motherhood is just like how much I would have enjoyed it. And then also I would just say, I don't want to say how easy it is because being a mom is not easy. I've only been a mom for 1 month. I would just say that like people made it seem so freaking hard and like postpartum was going to be the hardest thing I've ever experienced. And I'm only 4 weeks and I'll be like 5 weeks postpartum when this video goes up. But I mean, honestly, it was not impossible. And I thank God for my village. I thank God for my man and my family and the people around us who have made this transition so easy and have made it so easy for me to be a mom. So I'm sure that plays a large role in it. But just like taking care of her has not been the biggest challenge. Like, obviously, at first, the first 2 weeks were the hardest, but literally every single week it gets easier. And like I know that challenges are gonna come. Like it's pretty relatively easy right now. I know that like it'll get hard again, and she's gonna teeth, and then she's gonna turn 1, and then she's gonna go to kindergarten. It's gonna be things, and like as she grows, there's gonna be obviously, you know, obstacles, trials, tribulations. Like what doesn't have that, but just overall, like taking care of her. Once you get your flow, once you figure out like what they need from you at that time in their life, like it's actually not the hardest thing. So those are my 2 things that surprised me the most about being a mom. Next question is, what has been the hardest part of postpartum? I mean, I would just say like the hardest part is just like finding your identity in motherhood, Like I feel like again, I'm not a person that like I've struggled with my identity in the past, obviously growing up, but like pretty much since I found my identity as an adult, like I haven't really swayed away from that. I know who I am. I know exactly, what I'm supposed to be doing. I know exactly what I want out of life. So like I'm not really a person that's had to rediscover myself in a while. So I think just that, like still finding time for yourself, still finding time for yourself and not making other people make you feel guilty for finding time for yourself, right? Because people tell you find time for yourself, get out, don't lose yourself, all of these things. But when you do those things, is well, you need to be in the house with that baby. Why are you not with that baby, etc. So it's just like you can't really please people. And so I think that's just the hardest part, like finding out who you are after having a baby, because obviously things are different. Your body is going to change, like your mental is going to change, like where your money is going to change, your living situation is going to change. Everything changes when you have a baby. I feel like that just has been the biggest part, like all the changes that come with being a motherhood. And it's like you instantly have to do a whole 360 really with your life, and realize that it's not about you anymore. I feel like that's been the hardest part, just making sure that I'm still Amari, I'm still me, I still have my hobbies, but I'm also still taking care of my daughter. She's my priority. I'm not just a mom, like I am a mom. It's always going to be a role that I wear, but at the end of the day, I'm just a girl in my 20s, young woman in my 20s, figuring out my life, still trying to see the world and take on the world. So I feel like that's the biggest thing, just, not losing yourself in motherhood. I feel like I've done a really good job in that so far, just making sure that like I still do things that I enjoy, that I don't, lose my spark, that I keep my pink, as people would say. That's what I want to push on my platform, that like, yes, you can be a mom. Yes, take care of your kids, take care of your business, handle your business, but also at the end of the day, don't be afraid to do your makeup. Don't be afraid to go hang out with your friends. Don't be afraid to go have a drink, go have an iced coffee. And if you gotta take the baby, you gotta take the baby. Like, I love a really bright under eye. If you're a makeup girly, then you gotta really trust the process, because it gives Michael Jackson at first, but when it's done, it's tea. How are you adjusting to your new routine? I would say that I'm type C. I'd say I'm type C because I can be very type A about certain things, but I can also be very type B about certain things. And I think that I am going to be a type C parent, because for me, like everything don't got to be all serious, black and white, But then there are certain things in life that I feel like need to be very serious, and you need to be very intentional about them. But there's some things that you can wing it for certain things. But I would say in motherhood, the baby thrives off routine, so mama thrives off routine. The babies need routines. I don't care. I don't know how it is when they get older, but I will say in those stages, if you're trying to get some sleep, if you're trying to not be stressed out pulling your hair out, if you're still trying to find time for yourself, you're going to have a routine. I would say that I'm adjusting pretty well to the routine. I would say our routine is really working. Past couple of nights, I've been getting 7 hours and 6 hours of sleep. Shout out to my man for working a night shift, but just all of that is because we have a routine set for her. And I think just knowing like, okay, she's going to wake up, I'm going to change her diaper, she's going to need a bottle. I think it's just super helpful. Honestly, I've never had to live for anybody else like this. So it was an adjustment at first, but I think honestly, a routine saved us. We did not have a routine at first when we first came home from the hospital, obviously, because we were new parents. We literally didn't know what to expect. But once we learned her a little bit, we like quickly learned that we needed a routine, and I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. I feel like that has made our postpartum, new parent journey really, 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 really easier than it would have been if we didn't have a routine. When I first started doing my makeup, I never ever used to do contour. But once I started, I literally could not stop. And my favorite is the Merit, what is this called? The Merit Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick in the shade Cacao. I love this stuff. It's so good. And I've had this probably about 2 years now, and I still have a good amount in here. So it lasts a while. It is pricey, like $30-ish, but it lasts a while and it looks so good. How are you balancing being a mom and still being yourself? I feel like I kind of touched on that a little bit, but just doing it. Like, I feel like you cannot get in your head about it. You cannot overthink it. You got to just do it. I've always liked makeup. I've always liked shopping. I've always liked traveling. I've always liked, going to get random matchas. I've always liked to hang out with my friends, go have drinks with my friends. None of that stuff is going to stop. right? Like, obviously, will it slow down at first because she is my priority? Absolutely, but it does not have to stop. Like, right now, I'm doing my makeup and finding time for myself. She's taking a nap. Having the support really helps. Having that village around you really helps. I'm not the size that I was before. I mean, I didn't expect myself to be the size that I was before. I do have a different body type now. I love my body, but I also loved my body before, and I was used to that, right? So I bought clothes that was for that body. Now that I'm in a new body, right? Like, you have to find things that are flattering to you. So I'm really liking dresses. A more heavier chest now. If you know, you know. Go back and look at my old videos, old pictures. I've always been an A-cup girly. I breastfeed my baby. I pump. Rather, I do have some jugs on me now. That's different for me, right? And so I'm used to wearing shirts, not worrying about bras and worrying about milk leaking and all of that stuff. And I could sit and let all of that stuff make me stay in the shell, make me not go anywhere, make me not want to put on cute outfits. But why? I just have to do things with more precautions. I have to wear, little collection cups. I got to pump on schedule. I got to make sure that I have things on me to help me if things start leaking. I got to get shirts that are bigger in size because, so you just got to just do it. You can't think about all of the negative things, all of the things that are not the same anymore, because that's going to take the joy out of it. So literally being my old self, I'm not my old self anymore. And I think I also accepted that. Once you accept that, it'll make it so much easier. You can still do some of the old things you like to do, but you are never going to be your old self. But that's the beautiful thing about becoming a mother. You're somebody's mom. Why would you want to be your old self? But you can still have bits and pieces of your old self in your new identity. And I feel like the best way to do it is to just do it. Don't think about it. Don't think twice about it. Take baby steps, but just do it. Even if you're doing your makeup to sit in the house, just do it. Just do it, girl. Next question. How has my relationship changed after having a baby? I feel like this is a really good question. I am a very private person when it comes to my relationship and things like that. Me and my man have been together for a couple of years now. We've obviously had like trials and tribulations, up, downs, breakups, etc. Relationship teams. But I will say that my relationship obviously has changed since having a baby. I talked a little bit about this in my last vlog, but me and him were making jokes and we were like, oh, I miss my boyfriend, I miss my girlfriend, because we literally are all the time always taking care of her, and we're cuddling her and snuggling her, and like we used to just always be able to cuddle and snuggle each other and like come in the house and only worry about each other, have game nights and like be up all night. But now we're really trying to prioritize sleep. So we just kind of have just adapted to this new life of being parents. But I will say that we are still trying to find things and ways to date each other, like still complimenting each other, still being affectionate with each other, like, planning dates, still going on dates, again, having that village, around to help you. And even if we got to take her, we'll take her. Obviously, as a woman, if you're a person who is going to breastfeed or pump, that is very taxing on the body. You are the person providing the milk, and I exclusively pump. So he is able to help me with bottle feeding and things like that. So I am very appreciative of that. That does take some of the pressure off of me, but I couldn't imagine only feeding her on the breast, because you literally would never get a break. But even I have a pump schedule and I'm trying to build my supply right now, so I'm constantly always pumping, and like I'm so annoyed. And like the other day I was like, oh my gosh, I wish the man could provide milk for the baby, like just out of frustration. But that, like, feeling irritated with him because he don't have to pump and things like that. And like, you're a mom, I'm a pretty bossy girl, I like things my way. He might not have did something my way in that moment, so I might get snappy, all of the hormones. But just communication at the end of the day, and having somebody who understands you and understanding that your body just went through something crazy and that your hormones are up and down. But she got a really good understanding of hormones during pregnancy. So yeah, we've had changes. That is how my relationship has changed, but nothing to the point where it is crazy, nothing to the point where it's not fixable. Communication is important, still dating each other, putting each other first, and just making sure that you are trying your best to do things with good intention. You're not yelling, you're speaking with a calm voice. And when you do fall short, taking accountability, apologizing, and just making sure that the person, still feels loved and supported by you. Because at the end of the day, but also the man, this is his first time being a dad, if he is a first time dad. This is my partner's first time being a dad. And so like, giving him grace on that too, because he won't have it all right all the time. What postpartum products actually helped me? This is a good question, and I'm going to do a series about this on TikTok as well, just kind of like some of the things, because I feel like I was watching all of the TikTok videos of all the girls and like the postpartum cards and the bedside cards and all of this stuff. And I will say, as far as postpartum items that really helped me, I will say my peri bottle, having my own peri bottle, because the one in the hospital was pretty trash, not gonna lie. So I did use my peri bottle a lot. I will say the ice pads helped me a whole lot. They do have them in the hospital though, and I would definitely recommend taking some home, but I would have your own because those really helped me. Diapers, having diapers. My hospital did not have diapers. I would say get like a pack of just like panties from like Walmart or Target, like ones that aren't really cute, just like some full underwear like for your pads, because I am a person who've always like had like, you know, thongs and things like that, like, you know, very cute underwear. Luckily I had took a lot of little briefs from the hospital, but I wish I would have had my own underwear for the pads. Honestly, those are the only things. So the ice pad, the peri bottles, have your own underwear, have some diapers. Oh, and the Dermaplast spray. Have some Dermaplast spray. I didn't buy the Dermaplast spray. I just used whatever like off-brand version they have from the hospital. But I would definitely buy the Dermaplast spray because that was my BFF for sure. Next question is, how has my friendships changed since having a kid? I've never been a person to have a whole bunch of friends. So going into this whole motherhood thing, I didn't have a whole bunch of friends anyways. And the few that I did have, they either have their own kids or they would never like switch up on me or be weird in any kind of way. But I will say being pregnant brought me new friends, and these friends also have children. So my friendships, I guess, changed in a positive way. Like I now have some really amazing women around me who are also new moms, who we also get to tackle motherhood together and raise our kids together and kind of just lean on each other. I didn't have to deal with a lot of the like switching up on me being weird. Obviously I did have people that I just hung out with and just went out with. They weren't people who, you know, held any weight in my life or, you know, to where I would feel any kind of way about them not being here today. Okay, last question is, what is my biggest mom win so far? I would honestly say we have worked really hard on her night routine and like getting her to sleep. And I'm gonna tell y'all what works for us. Y'all let me know if y'all try it. You can probably hear her on the baby monitor. But we give her a bath every other night and then a wipe down in between. And we always wipe her down, give her a bath 7 o'clock, warm bottle, you know, give some cuddle time with her. We get the humidifier going. We turn the sound machine on. We close the blinds, make it real dark and cool in the room, and we put her to sleep. And it literally gives us a 4-hour stretch. And we literally get so much and have been getting so much sleep over the last couple of days. So I would just say that has been my biggest mom win, like being able to tackle that newborn trenches, as people will call it, being able to get sleep, still be productive. I mean, I am productive because I'm well rested. I'm sure if I was not well rested, I would not be bouncing around and doing all the things that I be doing. Here is the final makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment down below. Let me know what you want to see next. If there was a question that I did not answer in this video, please feel free to comment it down below, because I will be doing a 6-week postpartum update to catch y'all up on how things have been and to get into all things pregnancy, postpartum, healing, mental health, body, physical health. Did I tear? Did I not tear? All of the things. So if there's something that you want to know, please comment down below. Follow all my socials so you can keep up with me when I'm not here posting on YouTube. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, sisters.